Let's look at Chapter 4, Lesson 9, Practice, Working with Transformations. Number 1 says, how many pieces this size and shape will make the figures on the dot grid? So if you look, the shapes that we're working with are triangles, which we're used to, and it's just showing the triangle flipping around. Okay, so draw the lines to show the pieces. So the first shape is a giant triangle, but how many little triangles made the giant one? 2. Let's move on to this shape and draw your lines in. And I have 3 triangles. Keep drawing your lines in. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Use this method in order to figure out the rest of the different shapes. Let's move on to number 2. This pattern was made by repeating a figure. Draw the repeating figure. Your repeating figure should look something like this. Now we need to figure out, was the figure translated, rotated, or reflected? So remember what each of these words mean. I wrote some of the terms that we've been using, slide, turn, and flip, next to the words so you know what they would be. So let's look back at the original repeated figure to figure out what each one is. So, did this figure slide? And I could say yes, it slid down, or it could have slid to the right in order to make the repeated figure over. And then I have rotated. That means, did it turn? Well, I don't really have it turning because it's not, the arrow point is never facing another direction. And then the reflected part, was it able to flip over? And yes, it could flip over. This one could flip and be the mirror image down below. Let's move on to test prep. In a room, chairs were arranged in 3 rows. There were 18 chairs in each row. After a meeting, 3 chairs were removed from 1 row. Which number sentence can be used to find the total number of chairs remaining after the meeting? So you can start drawing a picture here in order to help you figure it out. I decided to draw 3 different blocks that each held 18. And then I know that I'm going to have to remove 3 chairs. So think about what the word remove means. Does it mean add, subtract, multiply, or divide? And I know that if I'm going to remove, I'm going to subtract it. So let's figure out how many I have all together and then subtract 3. So I can either do 18 plus 18 plus 18, or I could do 3 times 18, and then I need to subtract 3. Let's look to see if we have a number sentence that's 3 times 18 minus 3. And it looks like letter A is, letter B is adding 3, we don't want to add. Letter C is just 2 of the rows, and letter D is the same thing. So I can clearly see that I only have letter A as an option.